Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hello. And welcome. Hello. And hello. We're back. 16 symbols. It's a Tuesday. I'm reliably informed. We do 16 symbols on a Tuesday, apart from last Tuesday, because various problems. But those problems aren't here now, so it's fine. Yes. It's 16 symbols. Right. What's going on in the story? The story is a bit of a mess at the moment, but we will ascertain precisely how much of a mess and how much of it we can clear up. Okay, so at the moment, for probably the first half of this stream, maybe even less, the party is split into two. We followed the adventures of Team Shrimp, who went to a lab of poisonous, wherein they found some secrets, but not enough to know what's actually happening, despite the fact that Poison Nurse seems to think we know what we're doing. We don't. Hello, Jeb. They won't budge at all. They won't budge. I do need to get on finishing that second half of that video. Yes. Hi, how are you? You alright? You having a good week? Good start to the week? Hope so. You're right. That's right. That is alright. How am I? I'm alright, I suppose. Getting there. Plodding along, as one does. Yeah. And we've got, look at this. Look at this thing here. This big old sheet of symbols. Look how little of it there is left. We're very much most of the way there. Yeah, I've only got 3 significant locations and then like a little one here. Who knows? Maybe that will be significant, just not long. Maybe it's a plot symbol and then a boss rush. Feels like yesterday that we had 20 rows left to go. Yeah. Nope, just 4. 4 to go. Although we're still sort of finishing off the fine details of this one. So, as 'tis. So yeah, we have we went to the lab, secret lab. Where is it? Here, secret lab on the hillside. I'm still quite fond of that. We looked through some stuff. Triggered a trap, got thrown in prison. Poison Nurse had the little evil monologue situation where they actually didn't explain what they were doing because they just assumed we knew what they were doing. Forgot about Schrodinger's cat. Yes. Hi, Kiro. How you doing? You alright? You having a good week so far? Yes, we got thrown in prison, so on and so forth. Attempted extraction of magic from Mo. Didn't work because Mo has the protection of the hippo. Whatever that means. And then we have a fight with evil versions of the characters in our party. So here's a few evil party characters. And then an evil hippo, just to top it off. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Yes, and we escape we escape from the prison. No, do we escape from the prison or are we thrown into the caves? I think we're thrown into the caves. Anyway, we're on the side of a mountain. We get thrown into the caves in the mountain, wherein we find a few happy friends like Schrodinger's cat and goat in a suit. I'm sure I had my reasons. And we get some crystals for our troubles, and we learn some stuff. I can't remember exactly what we learned from these friends, but we learn some stuff. And then we work our way back down the mountain, which is very similar to the picture of going up the mountain. Don't think about it too much. The reason was just you wanted to draw on a goat in a suit. That's a good reason. As reasons go, that's a good reason. Then a thwomp is heard in the distance. That is the onomatopoeia of choice. Thwomp. And all of a sudden, some of our characters start acting a little bit weird. Buffy no longer takes an interest in us. Flo hops off. And probably more importantly, Gil just stops. Bramble's probably also run off somewhere. And I think we decided that this was going to be the trajectory of this part of the story, which is we got a death symbol, And we're like, what can we do with that? And so we came up with the idea that because at some point we want like a big ol', we keep calling it the extinction event. I don't think that's necessarily an appropriate term, but I probably came up with it, to be honest. But yeah, we want that to happen where basically all of the magic is sort of withdrawn from the world, the magic that would spread out from the sort of mutual destruction of the hippo god and shrimp god, fighting and annihilating one another, and thus creating all sorts of magical life on Earth, the magical moving mushrooms and sentient animals and such, sapient animals. And the people of who worship the shrimp god want that energy back, so that the shrimp god can come back. And so we wanted at some point that to happen. Big calamity going on. Lots of all these things just stop happening. Also familiars. The idea of familiars is also a remnant of the magic, the big old explodo. And so inexplicably that link has been severed, and mushroom stops being sentient, just becomes a mushroom on the floor. Familiars stop interacting and having any sort of connection with their human counterparts. Yeah. Bad times indeed. And then we meet someone new and then we rejoin our party. We haven't figured that bit out yet, I don't think. Yeah. So that's as far as we got last time. I don't know if any of that made sense. Don't worry. We've only got like 4 or 5 more streams to go, and then you don't have to worry about it ever again. So yeah. So we have what do we got? We also got a MacGuffin, which I think we said we was going to get crystals, but someone else suggested that maybe the MacGuffin is being given the information about the machine. Don't know. We'll have to worry about it again when we do our editing stream. Yeah, that's fine though. That's talking about things that have already been written and have already been assembled. Editing is much easier than writing. Anyone can point out the problems in a book or a TV show or a film, but trying to get it down in the first attempt is hard. Yeah. So what do we do? So who's this person we meet? Oh yeah, I think we said that the extinction, the death symbol that we have isn't, the global thing has happened. It's just an isolated thing, like they were testing the machinery, maybe there was one in the lab, and it went off while we were in the caves, and boom, the whole thing, we're being used as a kind of test bed to see whether or not this works. Because Poison Nurse is in cahoots with the company, Zibus, because the company wanted to try and use this, A, to garner magical energy, and B, also to put down this whole robot uprising thing that's happening. Because obviously the robots, they themselves are also powered by some sort of mystical magical energy. Again, I'd like to reiterate, I started the whole drill through by saying I kind of like the idea that this world doesn't have magic, and now the entire plot hinges around magic. Funny how these things work out. Yeah, Poison Nurse wanted to test it, and also we were just really annoying to her. That's fair. It happens. If everything turns out the way you expect it, life will be very dull. Yeah. So that's that. I'm having a quick glance through the things that Ragdoll said in Discord. Yeah, you and Ragdoll, Chibi and Ragdoll, should specify. There's more than one person in chat. Chibi and Ragdoll saying things along the lines of that the character meeting can be us being the player being introduced to Caterpillarist properly, because I don't think we've actually met her fully yet. We've seen the bottom half of her face during a phone call, and about it really. Hello, is that Pazar? How Pazar? How Pazar? How you doing, Dark? You alright? I assume you're doing well. You have pizza. Right. Presumably, at some point, I need to draw something, so let's do that. Just been in the shade and in cars because we never met her, we just met her. Yeah, so we're now sort of properly introduced. Are the party properly introduced, or is it just the player? You've been kind of meh today. Oh, that's not very good. Would it please you to know I've done about half of the things you asked me to make? I'll do the other half tomorrow morning. Probably just a player? You don't know how or why we'd have Capitalist come over here. Good point. Yeah, why would she? Oh, Capitalist. I could put that on my list of OCs to draw next month. I've done all the sketches of the ones I have so far. Some of them are going to be long. Ah, Christy, hello. You're painting in its past date. It's alright. We've just done a recap of what's happened so far, and trying to work out what to do next. Nothing yet has been done, but I saw your paintings. They were nice. Yes, we need to invest in a light for you. I know a man who can help you get a lamp. He can make one out of chocolate. Oh, Frame Man. Hi, how you doing? Everyone's arriving. Yay. You brought it up to me. You shared it. Anywho. So now we are introduced to Capitalist. I assume we're introduced to Capitalist. I should just say Cat, but I like the full name Capitalist. Because it's a pun. It's great. But like the surname Pitilist is just kind of funny. You've been thinking of the factory stuff that you realize you need after the Soviet Golem robots. Those are words. Okay, so I like the idea that we have a little scene where we're introduced to Capitalist and Poison Nurse with the machine, right? And this is we cut over and we get like exposition, Socratic irony of the player knows what's going on, but the party don't just yet. And they're like, "Oh, this was an excellent test drive," and they have a conversation, and it's revealed that we know Poison Nurse is working with the company, but maybe we also get to reveal that Poison Nurse has ulterior motives. You're legally required to reblock Chocolate Guy no matter how much you hate him for how good he is at his job. He's good. Okay, so what does the machine look like? I don't know. Also, what does Capitalist look like? Hips do something like that, right? I need to get reference for Capitalist because despite the fact that they were designed after like Stream 2, never fully drawn them. Where are we? There we are. Chocolate Guy made a lamp? Why? Because Chocolate Guy makes whatever he wants. You know, do you want a telescope? Do you want a cello? Do you want a lamp? Do you want them all made of chocolate? The lamp has actual, like, springs on it. They're bouncy and everything. They're made of chocolate. Oh, that's a point, Christy. Quick question. Does Vive look like Viv? Because I can do Vive for next month's OCE drawing thing. And I haven't seen an explicit drawing of Vive, so not explicit, right? I haven't seen a drawing that is explicitly, oh, this is this character in the Dishonored game and not this character from 16 Symbols. Is her hair tied? I'm going to assume her hair's tied back. We get kind of like a mysterious... chocolate guy? Yes. You have a portrait of even the Roll20 you can upload it to Discord. That's fine, I can grab it. That's no bother. This is obviously, of course, assuming you are happy for me to draw Vive for my October shenanigans. She has a cigar, apparently. I'm gonna assume she wears heels. This sort of outfit feels like it needs heels. Might not though, she might wear massive boots. Good for her. And people in this world have 3 fingers. Never enough chocolate goes too powerful. Strum shenanigans. Ah, chocolate guy. They have dubbed over your mind as incoherent cheap sounds. There's a lot of shouting when it happens. So, how's everyone's day been? Has it been well? Has it been good? Anything interesting happen that's worth talking about? Because I don't have anything interesting to say. Actually, no, I do have something interesting is but possibly a stretch. But I've been playing a game. That game is called Hellpoint. And it's the answer to the question that everybody was asking, which is, what if Dead Space, but Dark Souls? And it's good. I like it. I like it a lot more than I thought I would, because I'm not really a huge sci-fi horror fan. And it looks a bit, I've played Souls-likes that were sort of directly copying from the source material, and they never usually seem to turn out good. This one's good. I recommend it. You know, the same existential dread as when everything was made out of cake. Yeah, now it's chocolate. So yeah, playing the game, and I've got up to the final boss. Me being the sort of person I am, I found all the super secret squirrel things and managed to get sort of like past the final boss and then to the super secret final boss. Ooh, final post-final boss. And it's kicking my ass. It's really, really hard. And at first I thought, oh, okay, like, you know, whenever I play these games for the first time, I tend to pick, you know, a kind of a thing that I want to do, a class that I, as it were, that I want to focus on, and I just sort of ignore everything else. But there's lots of different types of weapons, lots of different ways you can do damage in this game. And I just went, here's a weapon I like, I'll just use that for the whole thing, please, thank you. And I thought, oh, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm just not doing enough damage because of, you know, because I just sort of stuck to my guns, or lack of guns. I didn't use any guns. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to try something different. So I looked it up to see whether or not people have any advice as to what to use on the final boss. And I find this one post of somebody saying, oh yeah, it's not too bad once you get used to it. And I'm like, that's never a good start to one of these things. It's like people have come to you for help, and you start by telling them it's not too bad. But yeah, it says, oh, it's not too bad. I did it with a light spear +7 or whatever it was, and so long as you know the moves and so long as you avoid, you know where to stand at any given time, etc., etc. And I was sort of scanning this with my eyes, as you do. I was scanning it with my nose. I was just sort of scanning it, and then my eyes just sort of suddenly, like, shot back. Just like used to reading forward, and then suddenly the eyes just slam back. It's a weird feeling because it was like, hang on. And I went right back to light spear +7. Anyway, long story short, I managed to get to the final boss of the game without realizing you can upgrade your weapon. My first playthrough of Hellpoint was an accidental challenge run. And if I hadn't got all the super secret squirrel stuff, I would have just finished the game, not knowing that you could upgrade your weapon. It's only because I found the secret final boss. So yeah, that was fun. To be fair, upgrading your weapon's not a massive difference, but I have like doubled my damage now that I know that. Such is me. Such is my brain. Like, there are reasons as to how I missed it. It's not clear. You're badass, you dumbass. Like, it's something I'm simultaneously quite proud of, and also extremely ashamed of. It's like, you missed it like an idiot, but also you didn't need it up until the secret final boss. Got Hellpoint, never ended up playing it. I do recommend it. It's a lot better than Lords of the Fallen, which is what I was originally going to compare it to. I found a Dark Souls Easter egg in it. There's a little bonfire hidden away in one of the levels. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I recommend. I'm considering doing a stream, like a mini draw through of the game, because much like Dark Souls, boy, it doesn't like telling you any information about its story if it can help it. But there's a lot of story. There's a lot of lore. And I kind of want to do a stream where I try and explain what I think the story is from my very confused experience of the story. And then, after I've done that, we look up and see how wrong I was. I feel like that might be a fun little stream. Anyway, what does this machine look like? Also, hi, miss. How you doing? The demo set after the main game. Okay. That's an interesting prospect, given that I kind of know how the game ends. Haven't quite finished it yet, but big orb. We can do big orb. Yeah, I got to like what I thought was the final boss, and I'm like, oh, this is a bit underwhelming, and it's not a particularly fun fight. And I was like, oh, that's what an annoying end. The rest of the bosses in the game are much better than this. And then the game was like, hey, you did extra stuff. Now have the actual final boss. It's like, ah. And then I saw that and I was like, ooh, this looks like something from Final Fantasy. What's going on? Um. Okay, almost killed the dog. No, don't do that. Avoid the circumstances under which that could happen, please. But I'm glad you're okay. I'm also glad the dog is alive. Like, you go through seeing the aftermath without ruining the story. I guess... Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Rings around orb like planet, but mechanic. This is starting to sound a lot like something from Hellpoint, to be honest. And then one like that. And it's got sort of like gaps in it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the game again with the upgrades to the weapon. Yeah, it's like the upgrade thing isn't called an upgrade station. It's just like it says configure your weapon, and you can stick things in the weapon that don't amount to upgrade. You can't actually upgrade weapons. You have to upgrade the things you put in them. But I didn't know about that, so I just had this like +1 thing. Oh, I got a +1 thing here. I hope I'll find a +2 at some point. Not realizing that if I go to the station and press right on the D-pad, it levels up. Very confused. He's greedy, almost choked on a damn tree. No! Got too excited. Excitable puppy. Ah, alive and stupid. Oh, look at him. Can't believe you tried to kill him. Terrible. That's probably like a thing here. Like all sort of steampunky down here, doing a little of the heavy lifting. Tell you what, let's go full hell point. I'll give it like it's got sort of focusing rings, which is how they manage to hit us from a distance. No one's gonna dog with the puppet too. Poor thing. Killing him with kindness. 2 big buttons and a big joystick lever. Says, okay, so here is... But yeah, the story in Hellpoint is told through like little notes and stuff, and tiny scraps of dialogue of people assuming you know what's going on, which is weird because the only like actual thing, the only actual like objective you're given in the game is find the truth. It's like, thanks. I finished the game now, I still don't quite know what it is. Got an idea of what it's about, but I don't know what it is. Blip, blip. This one says on, and this one says off. A simple machine. Quickly figured out not to give him big treats, they have to be chomped over. Oh. Yes, all jokes aside, good job on making sure he was alright. Now, there's always something. Big old weird cloudy ball of cloud. Nice. Is this where the random color-coded puzzle's introduced? There's no explanation. Like, I don't know, I feel like this game, it wouldn't have anything like that, but it would definitely have a lot of things. It'd have a lot of things that are annoying, but nothing that would cause it to, like, fail the quality control thing. It's full of things that are like, yeah, they should probably have spent more time on that. But not, this is aggravating. On and off buttons, there's also a Simon Says puzzle that you have to do to deactivate the machine. It's a weird system. So yeah, there's sort of like a focusing ray sort of thing. Pew. I don't know how this works. JRPG mumbo jumbo. It's fine. Everyone pressing the button at the same time is slightly off timings. Oh god, that bloody bit of FF7. Cool. Okay, so we have this conversation. Nice little chit chat. And we get an explanation as to what's actually happening, or the player gets an explanation as to what's happening. The party is still, I think, probably none the wiser. And we get introduced to the fact that, hey, the company, yeah, they're working on some evil stuff. Kill Surprise. Trying to get the robots uprising sorted out and all that sort of stuff, and Poison Nurse was like, yeah, I've got something that could work if you fund my research. But we also learn that Poison Nurse is surreptitiously has their own agenda going on. Yeah, and then we get a proper introduction to Capitalist, the Let's Draw cat. Yeah. Sort of looking up at the machine as if to say, yeah. I need to look at the reference again. Hey, Oobs, how do you draw? And how do you... how do you draw in this style? That's another problem. While I'm struggling, just a nice gentle reminder that the music is, as always, provided by Adrian von Ziegler. Or Adrian von Ziegler, if you prefer. Get shop von Ziegler for all your Celtic music needs. That's great. Can't draw. Help. Don't cycle through my past failures. How dare you? This is why Capitalist was constantly in shadows, because they didn't want me to draw. Help! It's fine. Who's good can forgive you if it doesn't look entirely like cat? No, I will never forgive myself. Also doesn't help the angle I've chosen, really. Yeah, there's sort of. Maybe Capitalist is just in their own style. Because this game has no consistency. It's fine. Hang on. I should have planned. Should have tried to work something out in advance. That's also not what that is because I'm looking at this from the wrong angle. Ah! Oops, I need you to give me your strength. Red's model keeps changing sizes and Capitalist model is just a PNG of Oops' drawing. Okay, this looks neither like her nor the style is in, but I don't hate it. Oop, no, ruined it. It's just so far away. But it'll do. It'll be alright on the night. Oh god, it is the night. Ah! I've managed to make a middle ground that satisfies neither condition. Who's this Chris? No, it's Oobses. This is the cat. Cat's supposed to look like that. Capitalist. This is the head of the company, head of Zubas. It's still not great, but it's what I've got. I go for a sort of foreshortening thing going on here. Don't know if it's working. If it is working, that should probably be higher. You know, they are, yeah, they've been the villain in the shadows this whole time. Which is why I don't know how to draw them. Well, it doesn't stop me not knowing how to draw Brad, so I suppose I'm sort of off on that one. You know what's supposed to be going on here. Can't draw today. The idiots out front won't do much either, yeah. The hand's being tucked away. It's fine. And there's also a bunch of tattoos going on. Doop, 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 doop. Well, this doesn't bode well for October if this is, if I can't even draw them in the style I'm supposed to be doing this whole thing. I also don't know what the front of the dress looks like, because the only drawing I have is from the back, so I'm just going to assume some sort of cleavage thing. I have a cleavage, I don't know. I don't know these things. This is trying to be foreshortened, and I don't even know how that works. It's also not a dress, it's just a top. So it's probably got some sort of front thing. Close enough. It's fine. Sudden moustache.
There you go. Shading again.
That was the point of the picture, was to get a sort of moody, shady picture going on. So we're like, villain. Villains have dramatic lighting. That's what makes them so compelling. Close enough. Moving on. Start with drawing a bike. Work backwards from there. You know, right, you're going to put a blanket over Vindrel. Yeah. It's another character I'm drawing for October. You don't have to make me suffer. Although, to be fair, I decided to order them in terms of difficulty to work out and try and alternate them throughout October so that I don't spend too long working on lots and lots of hard ones. And most of the ones at the top of the list were misses, so... But the internet pooped again. Music can't go quiet at the same time as Chris. Sorry, I'm trying to focus. Always backlit. Good point. Thinks Mrs. Art out of the cupboard for viewing purposes. Anyway, this picture didn't work. Anyway, we've been introduced to a relative facsimile of Capitalist. Who looks absolutely nothing like Capitalist, nor indeed is in the style of any of the rest of the game. Would you believe it misses good as art? Really? Oh yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, there's quite a lot of evidence that supports that, isn't it? Yeah, good point. Good point. When do we get to drown Fritz? Why would you drown him? I don't know where we drown him. We haven't seen any water yet. Mostly sand. Lots and lots of sand. Slipping up Braid's asshole status, and you can't have that. I love their interactions, though. It's great. That's what I read, miss. Okay, so we've done that, and we rejoin with the party. Is the other half of the party subject to the same thing? Here's the question. Is it just Buffy, Gil, Bramble, Flo who have been knocked for 6 via the machine? Or is Jethro and, to a lesser extent, Onion, and to a greater extent, Loaf, are they also going to be frazzled by the great frazzling? Fritz is not easily intimidated. He is far too annoying for that. We've got the unstoppable force of pre-air hitting the immovable object of Fritz. Void Bastards. Still don't know what game that is. I just remember there's a game called Void Bastards, and I'm like, perfect. As long as we're not talking permadeath. If you're referring to this story, presumably this gets reversed at some point. Like, that's the kind of, you know, the great low point of the character's struggle, but then eventually, we succeed and we've foiled the plans of the company. But oh no, Poison Nurse is now doing something. It's doing some shenanigans, and now we have cosmic problems. We beat the company, now we have cosmic problems. This is getting very Final Fantasy VII, it must be said. Void Bastards is a roguelike thing, which you cannot explain fully, but you'll just say play it, it's good fun. Cool. I don't know if I have it. So in exchange, I will say play Hellpoint. And work out how to upgrade your weapon. Because it's not intuitive. Okay, just have to make sure we don't kill a dog. No, the idea is, this is why I was a bit iffy about using the death symbol, because it's like, presumably this is all being reversed at some point. It was free on Epic. I might have it then. Neo's free at the moment, if anyone wants that. Yeah. So to be honest, like Loaf being a puppy probably wouldn't be a huge amount of difference in the way Loaf behaves. It's like having the connection to, you know, Brad. Obviously, the whole familiar thing is going to be a thing. It's gonna enhance the effect. A puppy being around, you know, its owner. Neo is your nephew's name. Marvelous. This is Neo. N-I-O-H. But speaking of Neo, they've released a trailer for the new Matrix. I haven't watched it. Your nephew's the one. Yes. It's an anagram. Do you get it? It's an anagram for Eon. An anagram for Eno. Brian Eno's the one. Have I even watched the first one? I think I have actually seen the first Matrix all the way through. I think I've seen bits of the other two. Machine thing. Hang on, I might as well draw.
Gasp.
Gasp, I know. What was it we were talking about the other day? And I said, oh, I've seen that film, and it was just like the least likely film. Oh, it was the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Meanwhile, in the corner of the room, can't really have eyebrows on a mask, can you? Get a little, ooh, excellent. My plan is going according to plan. Also, does Capitalist have familiar? um. You got friggin' spoiled after 27 friggin' years, so I don't know. What, who, where, when, how, what, who, where, when, what, why? Totally not evil, poisonous. If worse, then is poisonous pass? Maybe. You come from a family of drama kids. This is someone extra. This feels like that family trait popping in. It's also very sad. Evil. Also very sad. Evil. The poisonous would give up Spiky Frog like that. Maybe she made a special little shield for Spiky Frog. Matrix? Oh, that it was Brian Eno. Yeah, Brian Eno did it. Famous music producer. That's how he managed to get such a unique sound for the Talking Heads. At least that's what he says it was. Pretty sure there were pills involved. Right. Okay. So that's that. We then rejoin with the remainder. Yes. Are we doing... Are the people in the other party, who we're just rejoining with, have they been subject to the same thing? Is Jethro and Onion... Are Jethro and Onion? And Loaf. You know. Don't think so? Okay, cool. That makes sense. If it's a directed thing, I guess that makes sense. Matrix got spoiled for you by a list video? You're barely awake? Oh no. Shit. I mean, I guess there's not like... I guess there is a twist. Sort of. Kind of. Either way, you know. Yeah, it's like one of the games we're going to play during spooky season. I had that spoiled for me by a list video as well. But I still want to play it. Yeah. So in that case, we rejoin with the remainder of the party, and we continue with the story. So we're going back to somewhere we've been before. I think we said that this is like we're going back to the city, and we're dealing with this whole the robot uprising, which may or may not now be a robot downfalling. Call of Cthulhu. I know. I was under the impression that it was good, and then somebody spoiled it for me and said it was bad. It's terrible. I wish you could have saved us all the bother. So yeah, we're returning to the city where we meet someone, whoever that may be. Call of Cthulhu is the only horror game. Well, I literally today bought and downloaded another old janky horror game. I don't think it's a horror. It's horror themed. To play during the thing. I've had my eye on it for a while, and it was like, hey, it's on sale for £1. Sure, let's do it. So I'm hoping it has similar levels of jank. Also has good reviews, so that probably means it's bad. What if we meet a robot friend, so that later they can turn on us? Oh, they can turn. Oh. The goons introduce a robot friend to us? I mean, we have a robot friend. Well, they're an optional robot friend, but... So what's happening in the city when we arrive? Is it like chaos? Not a party member, just a pal. Have this suspicious tag-along for no particular reason. It's a good excuse to get the goons back in there. I could do that. Let's have a look at the next symbol. It's always good to have a couple of symbols in hand. See where roughly this is going. This boss rush, I'm leaving. Mumbo Jumbo. Well, that's an opportune time. We can work with that, surely. There's chaos, yeah, robot uprising in full swing. Cool. Urban revolution, the Iron God's followers cannot be stopped. Zoom. They're all dead. Magic mum jumps. I was about to say, it's been a while since we had one of those. No, it's literally 2 columns along. Okay. So. I was just about to copy a picture of the city, but I realized I never actually drew a picture of the city. I drew a picture of the other city. Du Nior, if I remember correctly. Oh, also Chibi and Miss. Just while I remember. Don't have to do it now. Just while it popped into my head. I would like additional information about Pendrell and Kira. Because there is room in the drawings for me to do more. And it would be nice to know more about the characters so that I don't end up doing something contradictory, or I could, even better, end up doing something, I want to say supportive, that's not the word I'm going to, amplifying, makes it sound too technical. What kind of info? Just things they like, hopes, dreams. Fish just died and you got an advert for the fabled PS5. I hear it somewhere. It's like one of those treasure hunt things. But I've got to go out and find it. Google's who the heck Pendrell is. I believe you described him as your village bike. You drew him as an elf, if I remember correctly. You drew him during your Inktober thing. Not wearing a lot. And that's all I know. That's all I know about him. Okay, so... You recall him in the Dungeon World game? Oh, was it for a thing, I guess. That's probably why they have a name. Unlike the other rabble that you sent to me. None of whom had names, but they're cool. Oh, that! Oh, he's not yours? Not really? He's Dark's technically, even though you love him? He's yours now. He's yours in the sense that, you know, all of your... That, like, Malachi is yours, and... you know, your feral defense of your trash pile of terrible characters. Goes Fritz as well. What if you insist? That was a campaign where your character just went, no, and closed the door of the battle going on outside. Neat. But yes, you said, here's all my Inktober sketches. Feel free to take any of those characters as one of yours. And Pendrell immediately stood out for various reasons. I've forgotten completely how to draw these characters. You made Fritz hard to kill. Oh, yay. To be fair, that is fairly obvious. We've only met him for 5 minutes, and it's like, yeah, this guy's not going down easily. Hey, Rob. Wow, he looks... Yeah, I deviated from the original design somewhat. It's supposed to be smaller than the one on the other side, apparently. Did we ever work out what's going on with the feet? You pick some more stuff up about Kira, which you probably would anyway, as you're drawing them a lot. Yeah, exactly. So I've picked a style that you're unlikely to be drawing them in, yourself next month. Actually, Vindral as well. More about Vindral. I can fit some stuff in there. He wears Crocs. Cool. Looks as you jinxed Fritz and now he's suddenly gonna die. Wonderful. Roll those 20s. I sure did. Can't remember what was on the sign. You're not gonna die because you say so, even if it means having to reanimate his corpse. Wonderful. Zombie Sonic. Zombic. Sonny. Sunny? I remember playing a game called Sunny about a zombie. It was a Flash game. It was very well made. I forgot about that. We'll have to look that up after the stream. For some reason I remember the UI. It's like the first time I ever really noticed UI. It had like, instead of a menu to do, it was like a turn-based battle system. And instead of having like a menu, little drop-down menu or something like that, they were like concentric circles around the character and you chose from those. Just look really nice. Like, this is a Flash game. Why has it got better production value than most, you know, properly made games? Flash games, the dead art form from the 2000s. Spent so many hours playing Flash games and making Flash games. I've just drawn Rob. Don't know what else. Okay, we're being introduced to. Oh yeah, I need to update the thing. How many symbols are here? 7. 7. Not Mumbo Jimbo. It's the JRPG character that messes around with the plot just before release. Mumbo Jimbo. Hope that social media destroyed Flash more than destroying the rest of the internet. Flash was good. I mean, it was a buggy mess and had lots of security flaws, but that could have been fixed. You can export, actually, you can export quite a lot of Flash things just into JavaScript, and that can work natively with HTML, but obviously the visuals won't follow along, so you have to export those as images. It's just a bit of a mess. So yeah, what's happening? What are we doing? I've drawn Rob. Also draw Bran, why not? Bran, like, despite being the most competent member of the Goons, has basically done nothing this entire thing. They've just been, you know, trying to get on with their job. Like, again, this is one of those things where it's like, if we had time to flesh out like conversations and dialogue and all that sort of stuff, then this, you know, Bran would have a lot more to do, but that's why she's the most competent. She's actually doing something. Oh, it's been a while since I've drawn in this style, isn't it? Slogan is bring back Flash games. Brent is the most competent by virtue of going, this is nonsense, let's get this over with. Is she referring to the game? Or... She's self-aware? She might be self-aware. They, sorry. Did they? She? I've lost track. It's been so long since I've actually done anything with these characters. Yeah, I'm not really inquisitive. She, they, sorry. I say sorry. I was right with both, but I just got confused. Fran definitely breaks the fourth wall a few times. It's always good to have a fourth wall breaking character. Usually they're comic relief. It's nice to have somebody who's just done with it. Seeing the noses and mouth makes them smug. We meet some robots along the process and then suddenly they all stop, leaving the party, just the party and the goons in front of the company building. Some of the goons, anyway. Oh, why does she not look right? I don't even know what she's doing. Goons run off to do something stupid and Brand just turns to the player and shrugs. Actually, they do look like they're looking at the player now, so might as well take advantage of that. Do 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 do. Bran, you can have a patented crispy shrug. Oh, it's only been 2 weeks and I've forgotten that I need to do these quickly. Don't worry about anatomy, it's fine. An unimpressed crispy shrug, how rare. Okay, so we meet a bunch of robots doing some protesting. Don't know what kind of robots there are. Little ones on wheels. This is like a trash can robot. And then there's this robot who's a lump. Not sure what they do. Furnace or something. We've already done a furnace robot. don't know. Maybe it's like a... sort of... thinking like a letter sorting robot or something. Just got lots of little slots to put letters in. And I'll sort it out. But now they're using their letters as leaflets to hand out leaflets. They're like a big old robot. Yeah, lots of robots doing a protest. And our characters run in clearly a bit upset with what's just happened. You know. They know this is somehow connected to what was happening in the forest and with poisonous and such. Upset and confused. Running out of space on the canvas to draw things, it doesn't matter too much. Flo's little face. Flo's not all there anymore. Flo is no longer Flo. Flo is just Anne Frog. That's it. Everybody's rejoined, it's fine. Brad's just helping out. This drawing's so much fun. Glad you like it. It's a bit of a hodgepodge. But there we go. Such a good brand face. I've got to do it eventually. One time during this 30 stream series, I will draw Brad's face nicely. And it's today, so I never have to do it again. Oh, we've dropped 998 frames. Thank you, Frame Man. 2 more, get to the big 1,000. Go on, Frame Man, you can do it. Also, Gil's quite small there. Don't worry about it. Since the magic energy left, Gil has shrunk a bit. As have his clothes. So yeah, we're here. We're meeting a new character. Are we just being introduced to a random robot who's then just gonna go... Shriveled up a bit. It's fine. He'll grow back once he gets his sentience. Wick's also here. Yeah, so who are we meeting? And is this the big switch off? Spent so long arguing as to whether or not it should happen now. Or whether or not it should happen 2 symbols ago. Roberts, met, now, form! Gregori's gone home. Gregori's around here. Like, the big thing happens, everything switches off, and Gogori comes back, like, carrying ice creams or something. And, hey, I got the ice creams, this is what happened. Oops. Wick's always here for a protest. Doesn't matter what it's for. Any kind of civil disobedience. Or uncivil disobedience. Okay, so we're introduced to random robots. We're going to be introduced to a specific robot. Because presumably this symbol is for a significant plot character. So maybe, how about this? Maybe we're introduced to this character, this robot, and they know something. They know something that's really important to us. And they're about to tell us. And then, phoom. And so that's why they're important. So later on in the story, we can learn that, and then that's going to give us some information later on as to how to deal with poisoners or whatever it is that's required after this. Gogori very obviously sneaks back into the scene, trying to play it off like he was always there. He ruins it by tripping over a robot. Bless him. It's a robot that worked on the magic machine. There's an idea. Cool. So what does the robot look like? Let's design Robert. Not Robert. Not Rob. Rob's there. Works on the magic machine. Maybe it has orbs of its own. Gogori needs a holiday. Well, they're happy enough in the doodle I've done of them for next month, so. Orb. Orbit. I am an Orbot. Or a Rob Orb. Orbit the robot. It's all going in one drawing. Much as physically possible. Some weird noises going on outside. Oh, the helicopter's doing the maneuvering thing again. Yeah, sounds like a helicopter. This one has a little. It's got this sort of big old projector in the inside with a glass thing around the outside that it can project onto, and it projects a little face. Turns out designing fantasy robots is tricky. So that's being sort of projected onto the thing. Designing fantasy robots. Step 1. Start with orb. Look how low-tech everything else is. Step 2, and you're done! Fantasy Orbot. Okay, so we are introduced to Orbit. Orbit the robot. By the goons.
Fluoom.
Boom! You know, maybe the goons, you know, talking with the robots during their uprising, having a bit of a chit chat, and they found out that, oh, they've got some information. It's like, those meddling kids might be interested in that info. That seems like the sort of thing they wanted to know. But they actually didn't understand any of the words, that's why they can't repeat it. I'm just like, oh, this is the sort of thing, I don't know what you're talking about, but this is the sort of thing those kids might want to know. And then we arrived later on, during the uprising itself, and we're introduced. It's like, oh, by the way, there was this robot. Here he is. His name's Orbit. And they had something to say to you. Like, yes. So I was working on this machine, and then, whoom! Then everything stops. It's vaguely horrifying. Oh, that's part of the sign. Has anybody got any fun plans for the week? The week ahead? Or the week afoot? Playing Tales of Arise. Nice. Drawing. Lovely. Sorry. Also, Saturday is John J. Johnson Jr. time, so looking forward to that. Yee. Drawing. Fantastic. Yes, Wick indeed. Wick is also here. I haven't said anything for about 5 minutes. I don't know if I'm listening. I don't know what's going on either. Too. Oh, what's going on? Click. All because the foom happened. Sit smugly and having a villain. What is a person? Also absent. Gilroy trips over Wick and breaks his nose. That sounds about right. Yeah, the Fulmining. The Fulmining occurs. Go to the toilet and you come back to Crocs. I've drawn them twice. This is pre-form. This is post-form. The form has occurred. Yeah, how long were you on the toilet? Were you like grouting it or something? You missed the first one. Also, I need to get rid of this. Oh, wow, that happened instantly. Fantastic. Gibbs been wearing Crocs this entire time. You've just never been able to see his feet. The Fulmining! The Fulmining has occurred. See, his little robot, little orbit came up to us and said, I have some very important information for you, and then boom. We may never know what that information is, but what happens next? I don't know. Let's find out. Drama. We get a MacGuffin. Do we carry Orbit around with us? Look, no one said this had to make sense. Sorting out throwing money at people for art, don't add me. Take Orbit's memory drive or something? That's a bit weird. Eventually wake up all the robots and Orbit's like, who am I? Where am I? What? There's a floppy disk. Also, I should probably denote. It's a copy, it's a backup. It's fine. Alright, but get ready to carry even more people. I let him off trying to carry Buffy. I imagine they could just lead Buffy around. Difficult, but plausible. There's a copy of your memory. We're going to give them a crisis thinking they could just be copied. You ever played Soma? And don't worry, that's not spoilers. This is basically the first thing that happens. Are they even the real one? Are they simply another one along the line? No, because it looks spoopy. I mean, Soma is in two parts. It has a story and it has a game. The game I'm thoroughly indifferent to. The story, really cool. Big fan. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. So what's Bran and Gregori's reaction to losing Wick and Gabe?
Sigh.
Keep feeding Buffy, that's why Buffy's still around. Yeah. Fred does now have to carry Gil, Jethro, and optionally Onion. And also Loaf, I guess, at this point. But Loaf will just stay in the pocket. They're warm in there. They don't have, like I say, they don't have the familial connection anymore, but still a dog and owner. Loaf is in the pocket. Jerboa might also be in the pocket. Depends. Bramble, that's the one. Mo, take this bloody backpack off. Probably don't need it right now. Is the backpack going to turn out to be a MacGuffin? Freedom. We're at that part of the music video of Mr. Ziegler that basically there's no sound. So, moving on. How? Answer, it doesn't matter. That's how. Brent's probably like, oh, what happened? And then she sees Gregorian and is like, oh gods, why out of all of them is he still here? Then they have to team up and go perform a separate heist and, from the one the party's doing to find out what's going on and break into the company. Yeah, maybe there is like a kind of separate thing where you keep getting cutscenes as we're going up the building or whatever. They're going up the other side of the building and then it all comes to a head and then just we do something and everything goes wrong and it looks like we're screwed, but then the goons are like doing their own thing and accidentally drop a chandelier on something, and we're fine. Completely by accident, they help us. That's the way of the goons. Well, one of you two's hovering. Okay, we got a floppy disk. There it is. Bran accidentally shoves Grigori too hard and annoyance, and it causes him to slam his cane into an important thingamajig, and it saves the main party. Somehow. I do like that idea. We'll keep that in mind. I'm usually a fan of... I remember ages ago, I've probably mentioned this before. Back when I was on Tumblr the first time. There was going around this thing of like Pixar's 19 rules of storytelling. And I disagreed with 18 of them. But one of them did stand out to me, which is that... hi, Frame Man. A coincidence that disadvantages your protagonists is a chance for them to overcome an obstacle, and a coincidence that is advantageous to your protagonist is cheating. So I like that there will be something here to make it seem like it's not just a coincidence that the goons were like, oh, and then it happened, and now the heroes are saved. Without that funny coincidence, the world would be doomed. But you know, that's just me. But on that note, on that happy-go-lucky note, in which most of our characters are no longer characters, we're gonna end it there. That was a stream. It did happen. Yeah. Oh, what's the next symbol? Good point. Let's have a... Oop. There we go. What's the next symbol so that we can think about things? It is death. I guess that we can maybe lump all these three together as like, oh, this is the event. There's the Foom, and then the MacGuffin. We're talking to the robot where there's the MacGuffin, and then they all die. But then that doesn't leave an awful lot of room for the rest of the thing. That would make sense? Question mark? Very good stream. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Should we look at the next one? I got kind of lucky on that one. We had 2 deaths in a row. I was like, hey, that's kind of what we were hoping for. If that had happened anywhere else in the story, that would have been fun. Depends if any of the symbols plot. Yeah, we'll see. Cool. Boom. Plot. Lots of stuff can happen. Jimmy, you're a soothsayer. You say sooth. Or weast. Or nog. 9 hours of cutscenes. Okay, that's the homework for this week. Oh dear. Yeah. Shenanigans. Shenanigans are happening. I hope there's a boss after this so that we get some sort of climax to this whole thing.
No.
No. Well, that's that. That kind of lined up really well, actually. Because there was part of me in the back of my brain that was like, I don't like the fact that losing some of the characters was death and then losing all of them was just mumbo jumbo. But now we got a death symbol. It works. We were amazingly lucky with that. I'm starting to remember now when I was first filtering these out, because I made like 100 of them just to try and find ones that didn't look incredibly stupid. I thought I'd thrown it away, but evidently this was the one I must have kept. That there were like a couple of deaths in a row, and I was like, I wonder how that's going to work out. I thought it was a different one. I thought they happened earlier. Evidently not. And it worked out very good. Who knows what the next 2 symbols are going to be that are going to completely screw with that. We can't have luck without unluck. So yeah. I'm definitely glad also that we didn't choose because there was the argument as to whether or not we should have the extinction event happening entirely now or entirely previously. And then we would have arrived, the extinction events happened, and then the death symbol comes up, and we're like, well, what do we do now? We'll deal with that next time. Yes, we will. Thank you very much for coming along. I was a bit low energy today. Apologies for that. But these things happen. The unluck was all the magic mum jumps that we didn't know what to do with earlier in the story. There's still 3 and a bit columns to go. We can still screw ourselves over.
Judges you harshly for being a person.
That's fair. I should become a robot. Shoosh. Peepo. Namato. That's not going to make any sense to anyone who doesn't know the video I'm referring to. But anyway. Hey look, shrugging. Every character drawn by Crispy must at some point, under the duress of some unknown cosmic force, shrug their shoulders and say, Join la revolution. Have a good night. You have a good evening. And then night. Snadamado. Yeah, tomorrow. Ding 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 dong. Da 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 da. Not Deathster. Always forget to change these. Angam. Angam Izuka. Yeah. I have a couple of games. I'm not entirely sure which one to do yet. But bear in mind, we don't have that many streams for games until October. So, and I've got lots of spoopy things lined up. And by spoopy, I mean vaguely horror themed. By horror, I mean not particularly scary. Secret game. Well, it's not that secret. I could tell you. I'm choosing whether or not... I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys a choice. Why not? Let's take it out of my hands. Do you want to play Abduction, which is the newish... I don't know if it's the most recent game, by the people who made Myst. Or Kato, which is a little puzzle game about moving maps around, I think. I haven't looked too much into it because apparently it's really good and I don't want to spoil it. We're playing Cthulhu again, aren't we? No. Like I say, I want to try and speedrun that during spooky season, but only one stream. I've got enough other games I want to play. I'm awake. Yeah. So it's one of those 2 games we'll be starting. Abduction or Kato. There's more than one stream Miss will sue. There's more than one stream I'll sue myself. Think with either. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Puzzle game or puzzle game. Atmospheric puzzle game or cute puzzle game. That's my standpoint on it. Standpoint? Is that a word? I think I just made up a word. Or my brain is misfiring so much that I have taken a word that does exist and I've heard many times and has just told myself, no, that's not a word. I don't know what you're thinking about. I was thinking that's a word. Standpoint? Is that a word? My brain's melting. I need to stop the streaming. Have a wonderful time. Thank you very much for coming along and giving silly ideas and all that sort of stuff. Standpoint is a very little translation of the Dutch word for it. So you say it. Cool. Fantastic. My brain's just melting then. Why is that just not... Anyway. My brain must have thought it was enough of a word for me to actually say it in the first place. Why is it doubting itself? Standpoint is a word. Right. It's like viewpoint, but standing. I'm gonna shut up now. Have a wonderful time, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with a game. Enjoy yourselves. Do something nice. Go sleep. You also sleep. If you want to. If you don't, I guess. You probably should, because it's good for you. Look after yourselves. Thank you for being here. Goodbye.